That's right!
Welcome to the Now, I'm Ashley.
I'm John.
Hope you like Star Wars, because you're about to get a whole lot more of it. Lucasfilm has announced that The Last Jedi director Rian Johnson is going to be kicking off a whole new Star Wars trilogy, which is unconnected to anything that we've seen before. Exciting.
That's pretty fun. We're not talking about episodes 10, 11, and 12 here. This trilogy will be separate from the episodic Skywalker saga, and in the words of the studio itself, will introduce new characters from a corner of the galaxy that Star Wars lore has never before explored.
Now let's think about that for a second, because it's kind of cool and new and unique and interesting. Star Wars lore obviously covers a lot of ground. It's decades of stuff that would be considered lore. There's hundreds of comic books, novels, some canon, some now not so canon, TV, movies, video games, explanatory text in those big fancy making of and art of books, countless hours of official Lucasfilm reps like what Pablo Hidalgo has been saying, filling out every nook and cranny in the galaxy. Every single one.
Or so we thought.
Yeah. It turns out that the galaxy is a big place, and believe it or not, there's not a Skywalker in every corner.
What?
Yeah, I know. Rian Johnson's trilogy is going to be something new for the Star Wars cinematic universe, landing somewhere in treatment, I guess, between the episode films and the spin-offs they've recently started doing.
It's gonna star Lake Landrunner.
Yes.
So far, those standalone Star Wars story films have all been anchored in stuff we've already seen. Rogue One had Darth Vader, Grand Moff Tarkin, and the Death Star, and the young Han Solo spinoff, the one they're just calling Solo, is up next with rumors circulating about potential future standalone stories focusing on Obi-Wan, Kenobi, Yoda, and maybe even Boba Fett. You know, characters and known characters in quantities.
How do you feel about it being called Solo?
That's a stupid name.
Lucasfilm head honcho Kathleen Kennedy has called this new trilogy a blank canvas for the creative director, and that could be a risk, but it's also what's kind of exciting about this development. It means that we're in for something fresh and new in this galaxy far, far away.
I think they're jumping the gun on calling it a blank canvas. It's
probably not going to be that blank.
Yeah, it's
but
kind of
a little bit blank.
It's a canvas with the color and numbers, and you get to color them differently this time.
Lightly used.
Yeah. This also bodes well for The Last Jedi. Lucasfilm wouldn't be giving the keys to the Star Wars kingdom to Johnson if they weren't head over heels in love with what he delivered with the new saga film. Every studio will say they love their new project when they're trying to convince you to go see it.
And pay money to do so.
Yeah, but when they give the director a whole new trilogy that's going to keep him busy for the next 10 years, the love is real.
It's
especially
real.
When you consider the company's recent rocky relationships, that's a word, with its other directors.
Yeah, remember Tony Gilroy had to come in and direct pickups for Gareth Edwards on Rogue One. Ron Howard was hired to replace Phil Lord and Christopher Miller while Solo was still shooting. It's been kind of a worrisome few months for fans.
It's been rocky. Johnson was a fan favorite choice when he was hired to direct episode 8. He came from the indie world with success like the high school noir Brick.
Which is a great film.
Yep.
A lot of fun if you haven't seen that. Recommend it.
And The Brothers Bloom. And then knocked it out of the park with the Bruce Willis time travel flick Looper.
How does time travel work?
You have to use a lot of makeup like Bruce Willis. That's how it works. His scripts always have a strong focus on character, and he's proven time and again to have a sharp eye as director, which is, the perfect combination for the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, so Johnson, along with his producing partner Ron Bergman, will be venturing into pretty uncharted territory here. Honestly, the more uncharted, the better, but that's just from one fan here. Promising new adventures with new characters in new locations.
I'm calling it. This will have a Wookiee in their story.
Maybe it's all about Wookiees.
That's what it is. There's no release date set for this new trilogy, but you can bet that Johnson's hard at work with Lucasfilm's brain trust right now, setting up this brave new geeky-ass world. He's probably not stressing about it at all.
Not at all. In fact, he actually sort of tweezed it. He teased it on Twitter.
That's how you tweeze it. You tease things on Twitter.
Yeah, it's a new thing. It's official. Yeah, it's before this announcement came out yesterday. I think he was saying, or it was immediately before as it was happening, saying, I already hoped you'd really like The Last Jedi, but now I really hope you like The Last Jedi.
Please.
So if that wasn't all exciting enough, Disney also has announced we are getting a actual live-action Star Wars TV series, which, we've had animated ones and they've been cool and well-received, but a live-action TV series.
Yeah, Disney CEO Bob Iger revealed that new nugget on the company's quarterly earnings call, bolstering support for the studio's big venture into the digital streaming service.
Yeah, now, we already knew Disney's been working on their own Netflix-style subscription service It's going to be partially Disney's massive back catalog. Hopefully we can get a lot of that bed knobs and broomsticks.
Substitutionary locomotion.
Partially original content, partially content from a bunch of other major studios that have already been signing on. Look, when you're Disney with all the money in the world, all the most popular IPs like bed knobs and broomsticks, all that original content that you could be making starts to look real damn good.
You think they could get Angela Lansbury to do like another series of another like sequel to Bed Knobs and Broomsticks?
That might be a challenge.
We get her. Iger promised a live-action Star Wars show, a series based on Pixar's Monsters, Inc.
Which also sounds awesome.
I don't think so. Leave
Really?
Monsters Inc.
No,
alone.
you're
It's
not-
good.
you're not
It's
into
good.
it?
Leave it alone.
Okay,
Leave it
fair
alone.
enough.
Also, new content surrounding their high school musical franchise.
Oh boy!
Get Zach! Get Zach back!
Get Zach for everything.
And even an original entry from Marvel.
Whatever that means. It probably means something pretty cool.
Probably Inhumans, the redo.
Oh no. Gonna have to wait a little bit for all that stuff though. They don't expect Disney's streaming service to launch until 2019, so, get patient. But when it does, Iger's promised the pricing is gonna be very competitive with Netflix. He wouldn't give an exact price, but said it will be substantially below Netflix's current $10.99 a month, at least at launch, because it won't have as much content as Netflix, and because the cheaper it is, the more people they can get on, and the one thing they're really gonna want is as many early subscribers as possible on this service.
Yeah, don't tell Bob Iger, but I'd pay $10.99 a month just for a new Star Wars live-action show. As long as it's good.
As long as it's good.
I'm an easy sell like that. Blaine would too. Blaine would do it if it wasn't good.
Blaine will do it no matter what.
Yeah, so that's at least 2 of us. So you guys are good.
3. No. We got it covered. You don't need to subscribe. We did. There's no details yet on what the Star Wars show is going to be, who's it's going to be focused on, what time period it's going to take place. Nothing like that yet.
Probably a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
I would imagine that they'll probably throw more familiar characters in the TV show.
They'll go long time ago?
Yes.
So hardcore Star Wars fans might remember that George Lucas announced in 2005 that he was developing a live-action Star Wars TV series to follow his final prequel, Revenge of the Sith. This project was called Star Wars Underworld and was going to bridge the gap between Episode 3 and Episode 4. Kind of like Rogue One.
Except not.
Yeah, Lucas said that if the original trilogy was based on the action-adventure movies of the 30s, then Underworld was based on 40s film noir.
Ultimately what ended up happening is that Lucas sold Lucasfilm to Disney, but before he gave up on it, he'd fully developed 50 full-length scripts, had a whole art department working on visualizing them.
Yeah, those scripts sit locked in some Lucasfilm vault somewhere, probably guarded by some green pigs with axes. That's a bad joke.
Or maybe Wookiees.
Wookiees is
all
a better
Wookiees.
joke.
That's where all the Wookiees
Or
go.
porgs. Everyone loves porgs.
Everyone loves porgs, apparently. Could the newly announced live-action series possibly, though, resurrect this long-gestating Lucas-led project, or will it be something entirely new? Could be pretty interesting.
I don't like the word gestating that close to George Lucas.
Hey, don't gestate shame, okay?
Over the years, rumors have circulated that some of Star Wars Underworld has been mined for other Star Wars projects, like The Force Unleashed, The Clone Wars, and Rebels. So maybe at the very least, there's some cool stuff in what Lucas developed that could act as a springboard for this new series.
Yeah, so what would you want to see? Series set during the Republic? I don't know. All Wookiees? Some sort of bed knobs and broomsticks tie? Make sure to let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, that works. And if you're new around here, subscribe and like and do all that fun smashing stuff you do on YouTube.
Smash that like button.
Smash that bed knob and broomstick.
I just really liked that movie.
Apparently.
Maybe she's not a wicked witch.
Of course I'm not.
See?
You see, the work I'm doing is so important to the war effort.